To former Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Army, Van Hipp. You know, Van, you think about it now, here we are with a president who gets faulted for getting a little too tough in his language and threats against North Korea, but North Korea is in the position it is largely because we did everything that was conventional with North Korea, you know, squeezing them economically, trying to use the Chinese and others to push sanctions, and here they be. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I like these old Harry Truman kind of Democrats like Leon Panetta. Unfortunately, there just aren't too many of them left anymore. They're almost a distant memory. Don't forget, back in 2006, Vice President Walter Mondale said that then President George W. Bush wasn't tough enough on North Korea. I just wish we had some more Harry Truman Democrats today. But this president inherited a mess. But I would say this, as far as tightening the noose, I would say this to Secretary Panetta. That's what President Trump is doing. Consider the following. You've got, we're on the verge right now of putting our nuclear-armed B-52 bombers on 24-hour alert status. Neil, this will be the first time since 1991 at the end of the Cold War. We have 3 aircraft carrier strike groups now in the region. They're in the Western Pacific. You've got the USS Michigan right off the Korean Peninsula. This is a nuclear-armed submarine that carries 154 Tomahawk cruise missiles, as well as it's known for carrying special operations troops. This president has gotten more out of the United Nations than I thought possible. He's beefed up our allies' missile defense capabilities. This president is leading, and he's tightening that noose. So I would say he is doing exactly what Secretary Panetta suggested.
I think what Secretary Panetta was getting into terms like Rocket Man or, you know, I'll attack you, all that stuff, it agitates the situation. I don't know how much more agitated it could get regardless, but your thoughts on that?
Neil, there's some things you can change and some things you can't change. I don't care if you're his wife or his kids. You're not going to stop the President of the United States from getting up at 4:30 in the morning and tweeting. There's just some things you're not going to change. But he is leading. I think he's gotten in Kim Jong-un's head. And I think that's one of the reasons why you've seen China do some of the things that they've done in terms of shutting down the money laundering that's been going on through Chinese banks for years. Neil, this trip next week, November the 2nd, President Trump heads to Asia for 12 days. This is a very critical and very important trip. Secretary Mattis is there now in the region, laying the groundwork. Yeah. This is a very important trip. And
Do you think he should go, Van, to the demilitarized zone? He seemed to hint at it. It's not officially on his schedule, but he said that journalists could be surprised. You think he should go there?
Yeah, he said he wants to go. I think it's purely up to his security folks.
Right.
And what they say, there's some open source intelligence unconfirmed that Kim Jong-un might even try to do another ICBM launch, this time with a nuclear warhead, to try to get publicity. It depends on what that latest intel and security is at that time. But look, there's no question the president wants to go. Vice President Pence went there in April. He wants to go. Do it. Security people let him.
Yeah, I have a feeling. All right, Van Hipp, good seeing you again, my friend. Thank you very much.